and lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We got the planning book on.
They're in front of,
Oh, just did it.
Oh, is this the claims?
Okay, call meeting to order. Any requests to be out of state?
Nope.
Everybody's good, okay? Do we have any unfinished business?
I don't have any.
minutes? Approval of minutes?
Oh, right. It's not on the, oh, it is too. Missed it. Sleeping tonight. Everybody had a chance to read the minutes of the last meeting?
Yes,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion, Stuart seconded. Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any unfinished business?
Nope.
New business. Julie, you wanna step up to the podium and tell us what you got going on?
Just for sake of the record, I don't know how I do this because I haven't been here for a while. My name is Julie Brantley, and I'm here to request, sorry, I have to read it, I get nervous. I'm here this evening to ask permission to finish painting my painting at the mini park and to continue with the color choices. I got permission from Mayor Jack to paint it, but I was not able to finish, and I was completing it this summer along with 3 neighborhood volunteer boys when I was asked to stop. We did. I've been told that the neighbors have been complaining about the colors, and I talked to Carol Cole, who gave me permission to use her name because she could not make it tonight. And she wanted to give her history with the mini park. She was in on the mini park's inception as a Girl Scout, and back then it was decided that because it was a park for the children, they would choose to go with bright colors. So would the council please allow me to continue with those colors? This year I asked for and got a local business to donate some of the paint, 4 gallons, in addition to my husband's generosity once again, considering the large amount of new surface area of the never been painted jungle gym. Along with the mini park, maybe I'm gonna insert this. I did painting as a business, self-employed business, and as a career. So along with the mini park, skating rink area, and warming house, I would like to scrape and paint that outhouse that's at the south corner of that area next to the rink to complete the appearance of that area, that whole area of recreation. Did you know there was an outhouse there?
It's actually a pump house, I think.
It's actually a tall outhouse. I was in it the other day, just checking it out. Also this fall or spring, with permission, and he's not here, of the Public Works Director as my guide, I would like to paint each of the dugouts at the baseball field. This would be for 2 reasons. Number 1, the wood should be protected and preserved from the weather. And 2, visiting children from out of town for games, or adults even for that matter, can easily spot which dugout their team is on. Should they have to use the restroom or the children go to the park, they can find where they are when they come back. I have already signed a waiver of release of liability, and the city office has my copy. I would also like to ask permission to have the city crew hang this plaque in memory of my late husband on the ice skating warming house, which was built in his memory. I would like, okay. Thank you for your time and consideration. Anyway, do you want to see it? It's only this big. I've always wanted to get it done, never could afford it, and WL said we needed to get it done for the kids. So do you comment today or next week?
Anybody got any questions?
What kind of paint are you using?
I'm using latex primer paint exterior.
Okay.
On your, I guess bring that up to them. We talked to our insurance company on the waiver,
Uh-huh,
and what they would really like to see happen is pick a weekend and have a park cleanup day, paint day or whatever, and then they would insure it that way. As far as the waiver, they said really a waiver doesn't mean much if you wanna get technical in court anymore. And they suggested that we pick, you know, a weekend, have an event when everybody there, we would be covered by insurance that way. The way it is, we appreciate you volunteering and doing it, but the way the world is getting to be anymore,
right,
you know what I'm saying is, it's hard, it's hard to go against our insurance company, I guess. As, like I say, and they're the MMIA, the city's insurance holder, and that was their suggestion. And they said, really, any minor, a waiver from a minor means absolutely nothing.
if their parents sign it.
Even if their parents sign it, because a minor has until 3 years after until they're 21 to come
Sure.
back.
Sure.
So I have a question. So there's no way to just set up a volunteer agreement? Like I know with the federal government, they have a volunteer agreement, and you have to be a certain age to volunteer, which is like 12 or 16 or something, but isn't there any way to do that rather than have to do it as an event?
Well, that's what I got from the insurance. I did talk to them
Oops, sorry,
this week
this is what it says.
because I've been on chip sealing crew this week, so I wanted to talk to Annie again.
That waiver was taken from the state of Montana, and I copied it. I have a sister in Livingston that has been doing volunteer painting for the last 2 months in Livingston, and they had her sign that one, so I just went through and changed Livingston to Choteau, and that's what she was asked to sign. I understand the youth aspect of it. My personal opinion, you get a lot of people in that park painting, and I only had 3 volunteers helping me before I realized that I was not doing things according to protocol. Anyway, even though I had permission from Mayor Jack. And we were almost climbing all over each other. With having a lot of volunteers over a weekend, number one, it has to be at least 60 degrees and it can't be too hot. That's why what I was doing the previous summer is I would paint for a while, seal my camp, then I'd come back, do benches, then I'd come back and do the tires, then I'd do the swing and whatever, as the temperature and the time allowed.
Well, let's look into the volunteer agreement. We're not saying it
Oh,
can't
this
get
is,
fit.
that's it.
No, that's a waiver, which
Right, and we
I've
said-
had a lawyer tell me waivers don't mean squat.
Right,
So,
but
so
he doesn't
just,
know.
Julie, just, please, we're not saying you can't do it. Let us look into it so we make sure we're doing it the right way so that our insurance company is okay with it.
Okay,
Because if something does happen, they're who we've gotta deal with,
right,
okay?
right, I get it.
Okay.
May I comment on that? I'm not challenging you. I just know that a young child was hurt on our teeters 6, 8 years ago. And the insurance company says, get rid of the teeter-totters. Well, every other park I've gone to, including Dutton, Livingston, whatever, everybody's got their teeter-totters. So, you know, I grew up with, you know, the merry-go-rounds, whatever. If we continue at this rate, unless they've got statistics, I get their not wanting to do claims, they're not out to accommodate us, they're out, it's a business. But, yes, please, I wanna be above board, I wanna be according to the law. I just would like to challenge, whatever, but we'll do, if, I'm going to Livingston this weekend for a reunion, and I won't be back till next week, so, yeah, I wanna encourage you, don't let an insurance company bully you, because, just personal experience.
We'll look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, because of the nature of this board, I don't have a drill and whatever.
We can,
Can somebody do it?
yeah,
Oh, and I appreciate because the, city foreman did replace a board in the warming house thing, and then I went down and painted it. I don't know how the kids ripped it off, but anyway, hopefully he knows what kind of wood this is, whether it will handle
great.
by a drill or nails. And I did take a key, well, I can talk to him, I marked where I think it would be best visible,
Okay.
out of reach of little kids, vandalism, but it's been weather treated like 6 coats. Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah, let us
thank you.
do a little more research on
Okay,
Thanks, Julie.
yeah.
it. Thank you, Julie.
Do we need a motion to table this then?
I think we do, yeah.
Yeah,
I make a motion that we table the vote on Julie Brantley's mini park request.
I'll second it.
any more discussion?
Well, I have a question.
Sure, definitely.
I lived there before the park was put in, and to my knowledge, there's only been one bad accident. And that was our son that climbed up a tree and fell down and broke his leg. I've never heard of anybody having an accident over there. And I think, my feelings is, if you get a bunch of volunteers, you're gonna get a bunch of kids, and you're gonna have nothing but a paint mess. You see what I'm saying? Because they like to paint and they like to play around, and I would like to keep it like Julie. She's done a really nice job, and the colors are great. And I was gonna read this to you, I just cut it out of the paper tonight. Cardiff thanks. Thank you to the Old West Lumber for donating the colorful paint for the children's mini park. Thank you to W.L. Brantley and the neighborhood boys for their hours of good hard work in helping paint the parents and kids. But sometimes I think we can overdo it, and then we're gonna have another mess. You know what I'm saying? And I don't wanna see paint on everything over there. I think it's gotta be supervised very well. I always call that my park, cause I've lived there that long. And the trees are beautiful, and I'm pretty protective of the park. When I see kids over there abusing it, I'm Johnny on the spot, because I don't want them to ruin things, you know?
Right.
It's to play. And it's not for the big kids, it's for the little kids. And some big kids come and try to hurt them, I just send them on down to the big park. That's where they belong, you know, and stuff. But like I said, I don't quite understand this insurance. In one way I do, in one way I don't, because the only one I can ever remember getting hurt was our son. No, other than falling off the teeter-totter, well, that's their own fault. I mean, you know what I mean? You have to use common sense too, and stuff.
And if we only had common sense in this country, we wouldn't have insurance.
May I ask a quick question? When everybody volunteered to put the playground together and rake and all that, what did they sign? What, as
That
a,
was an event,
Yeah.
right? That we okayed, that went through the insurance company.
Mhm.
That was an event.
They were a group that
okay,
Yeah,
put
and
it
that was,
all together and come to us. Mainly we did it by the city people did it anyway.
because I know on Facebook there was a thing, come help rake, and then I think possibly, if he can hear us?
Steve, can you hear Julie?
Anyway, somebody put it on Facebook
Can you turn me towards her?
that, somebody put it on Facebook like the day before and then again that day, come on down and help, bring your rakes. And I was just wondering how that went. That was volunteer, the difference between
There
that
was-
volunteering.
It was basically just, myself and my wife and, Brooke Richards and then the city crew. And,
Okay.
Jake Major, Mark's son. So it wasn't a big crowd, it was
Sure.
just a couple handful of people.
Well, and depending on who was there representing who, like if Steve and Jake were there representing the scouts would carry their own insurance for volunteerism. The city carries insurance for the city crew that was down there, but like Dan said, the playground committee was a group that had come 3 years ago to get okay to do this. And so when the crew, or when that group went to put in the playground, I believe it was done as an event through the insurance company.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Rich?
I just wanted to see, if, just because it's called an event doesn't mean that it could only be 3 people, right? I mean, it could still just be 3 people called an event, right? So,
Right.
you know, we don't have to worry about 100 people showing up.
Right.
Right.
Which sounds like a lot of people, that's what they're worried about, is 100 people showing up and causing trouble. Just labeling it an event just gets you the insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a question on the color of the paint?
Oh, we've heard some rumblings about it, yeah.
You know, this is so stupid, it's for the kids.
Yeah.
If they've got a complaint, they should be to the meeting to air it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, and for it to be a legitimate complaint, it has to be a signed letter, so.
Well, and I'm sure, you know, you could pick any color and somebody could complain about it, so I don't.
Well, they have nothing better to do, to be
Yeah.
truthful.
Well, the mayor would like John Deere yellow and green, but I.
No. I spent too many years with that.
Yeah, I get you.
So you want red and black and silver?
No, no.
But anyway, can I see copies of the people, of the signed complaints for the colors? So I can go talk to them.
I'm not sure if we have any.
We haven't
signed
really signed,
complaints.
it's just
There's
rumbling.
all just verbal.
Okay, okay.
Okay, well, we got a motion to table it, so we'll come back to it again.
Steve, did you have anything else on that?
Do you have any thoughts?
Do you have any thoughts on that? On any of that?
Can you repeat that, Stuart? I'm sorry.
Did you have any thoughts on any of that?
On any of that, no, I'm ready to vote on the motion. It's on the table.
Okay,
Procedure, do I need to be here in 2 weeks when you decide?
We'll let you know.
We've got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
we got a motion on the table to table this until further notice. I won't say it's gonna be next meeting, just how busy we are, but we will
Okay.
get.
Okay, so what are
Something.
we taking, the mini park?
we're tabling making a decision on whether or not it can get finished right now, I guess, or how it's gonna get finished.
Man, summer's running out.
I know.
Right.
Oh, any more discussion from the council? All those in favor of tabling for right now?
Aye.
Say aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries to table it for right now until we do a little more research on it. Okay, the legislature did do us one favor this year. We can now put delinquent water and garbage charges on property tax.
Awesome.
Before, we couldn't put it on the tax, we had no way to collect any delinquent water and garbage. So, I need somebody to make a motion to authorize the placement of water and garbage charges on property tax.
So moved.
I'll second.
Second.
Oh.
Steve seconded it, he beat you to it. Is there any discussion?
Just as long as the letter is changed to mayor.
The official letter has been changed to mayor.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None.
And just a side note, we have had people already pay, so the amount will be less.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we've got a request for revolving loan. Okay.
So wait, just a question, appreciably lower or not?
One person paid like 450, the other would probably be about the same.
So, okay, so more like 4,000.
Okay, Buck Sporting Goods, John was supposed to be here, but they're out of town. For mainly what they're looking is a line of business to rent paddle boards, canoes, and possibly other camping equipment. Amount of the loan request is $10,000. It was approved by our revolving loan board. So, anybody got any questions on that one?
So is there like, when they get the loan, they have to start paying right away, right?
They're supposed to.
Okay. So they want this for now, or do they wanna wait till spring?
I can't answer that.
No, that wasn't in the application.
If they're looking at doing it now, if they're looking at,
Well, and there's nothing that says we can't approve it and then say, ask them.
when they
And,
want
I mean, maybe they have it all figured out, I just didn't know since
Yeah.
it's so
They might be
effective.
trying to get bulk discounts.
it. Right.
Right.
Yeah, good point.
That's true, that's true.
They do want the funds right away.
Well,
Okay,
they do, okay.
well, yeah,
All right.
so I would make a motion that we, approve this loan request.
Okay.
Okay,
I have a second.
I will second it.
Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Have everybody had a chance to look at the claims? No?
There's like two.
Yes.
No, there's a whole nother.
Oh,
Uh,
now you're giving them to me.
Sorry, I just
Sorry
finished with
about
them.
that work.
I don't know if you
Why
do
is this?
two, one, or you can do it
Probably.
together.
Oh, this is left
What?
over June.
If you can do them together, or if you have to do them separate, I'm not
Probably.
sure.
One is June and one is.
One's June, so we'll need a motion to approve the June claims, cause we had
So
one
moved.
come.
Second, because we've all looked at those, right, Joe?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the June claims. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, July claims. Jill's looking at it. You think that one's good? Wait till you see this month's claims. The chip sealing is.
Who's running the oil for us?
Calumet.
Calumet?
We're buying the oil from Calumet. The guy that's running the truck is, Lomac
Okay,
out of Billings.
okay.
He's been super to work with.
Well, and his truck doesn't drip oil all over the place. It's-
Not too bad.
Well,
No,
you don't notice it going down the street. It's kind of
No.
nice.
he is unbelievable how he did the corner over here on 287, right there, that
Mm-hmm.
round corner. You couldn't believe how he did that corner.
Mm.
Just, he could individually control all of his nozzles. And when he comes up to the sidewalk, like pouring this way, he's within 2 inches where he wants to be. He's done it for a long time.
Yeah.
He's really worked with our crew. I mean, super.
I'll make a motion, we approve the July claims.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Steve?
All those in favor of the July claims?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Public Works Director is still chip sealing streets tonight, so he's not here. Jody had another appointment. She leave anything for you, Tom?
Just the,
Not really, just that, we're just finally getting our final numbers for revenue from
Right.
taxes. So there may be a few small changes on the budget. We should have it ready by next meeting, I believe.
Okay.
Okay. Council, Stuart, have you got anything tonight?
I just want to let people know that there's been a bear around town, so be careful, be aware, pay attention. Don't go out in the evenings and early mornings by yourself without making noise,
Wonder why there hasn't been that alert we typically get.
because I don't think it's been reported.
Oh, that's not smart.
Not everyone's on that phone list.
Yeah, not everybody's on the phone list.
Yeah, but I
Because I'm
am
a
on
cell
the live
phone,
number.
because I'm a cell phone, it takes 24 hours for me to get it.
I get mine,
Do you?
yeah. On my
You,
cell phone.
usually it's almost to the minute, 24 hours after the
Wow,
report for my phone.
that's
I
crazy.
get mine a few hours later.
Do you?
You know, if it was over by my area,
No, it's on the west side.
I was come out this morning and had packaged up a bunch of tin foil from barbecues and stuff, and it was all over the place this morning.
There are skunks and raccoons in town too.
It was hanging 5 feet off the ground. I figured it was a deer, but you got me wondering.
Oh, I don't have any,
Jill's quiet. Me,
oh wait, Steve.
Steve, have you got anything for council?
Nope, not tonight.
Not tonight? Okay,
You're so quiet when you're on the computer.
yeah.
That's what my wife tells me.
As you've all noticed, we've been chip sealing streets for the last 2 days. I wanna commend our crew. They started at 7 o'clock yesterday morning, they quit at about 7:30 last night. I had to quit a little earlier, cause I had previous obligations.
They don't have two crews in? I mean, one to take over from the first one?
No, we're doing it all. The only thing that's being done, we're hiring done is his oil. The guy that's spreading the oil in his truck.
It's a good job.
Everything else, we had 7 people working hard the last 2 days, so. Everything's went good. Today wasn't a good day. We had 2 flat tires on the chip spreader, so that shut us down for a little bit. We're trying something a little different. We're spreading 3/4 inch on anything that we used a zipper on and tore up. We're putting down the first coat of 3/4 inch rock, and then coming back and going with 3/8 over the top of it. Anything that was pavement is getting just 3/8. That's what's on the street out front here. Everything's, well, we'll tell you in a year if it's gonna work the way we hope it, we're supposed to work.
I think cleaning the streets off will be, before we do it, will be a huge boon.
Yeah. So that's working good. All right. Any public comment tonight?
I have public comment.
Yeah.
Do I have to go to the podium?
Yep. State your name so Tom can.
My name is Kurt Lewis. Hi, guys. I respectfully just want to ask about the criteria for which streets got chip sealed.
The ones that give us the most problem last winter, Mike laid out. Mike is the one we'd have to ask for sure, but he kinda went down and looked at the ones he's had the most trouble with in the last 2 years.
I understand the Frosties, but my street for the 700 and 800 block of 8th Avenue Northwest is, both sides are seriously pitted, and there's a big hole right off my driveway. It's about like a foot deep and 2 feet by 1 foot wide, and there's several down that side of the street that, if they're not gonna be chip sealed this year, the street certainly needs to be sealed up somehow, so they don't fall apart over the winter.
Did you say 8th Avenue Northwest?
8th Avenue Northwest, 800 block, 700 block.
Yeah, we just,
And then if there's future chip sealing, I certainly wanna get that street on the list.
Okay.
if we had more money in the budget, we'd do a bunch more.
Okay.
We stretched our bid, wow, we stretched our budget.
Yeah, I understand that.
Will they do more next year, or is that something that we hope to do, or we don't know? No.
Probably not, because we've
Use so much.
we kinda worked it into a 2-year cycle.
Will they be doing more potholes?
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing more work, I mean, we may grind them and work them up and gravel them for now and have them ready to chip seal.
Well, yeah, if we're not gonna be chip sealed next year, it's gonna be,
Yeah.
it's just gonna degradate to the.
You know, and we've done that with some of them. In fact, some of them that we ground this year aren't getting chip sealed up this year.
Okay.
We kinda picked the heavy traffic areas.
Yeah, I get that, but I think maybe, I didn't know what the criteria was, but there's certainly, I mean, there's big holes in our streets. So.
We'll make sure it's on Mike's radar.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
May I comment on that?
Yep.
Choteau has a super duper A1 pothole thing. It isn't the guys just going around doing gravel. They've got a whole machine that does everything in one thing, and it's A1. It's just, it does everything but put a cherry on top.
Oh, that's good to know.
They invested in that. You just gotta make sure the city manager, or city, what you call it, knows about it, because they're Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, I know those guys are busy, so, yeah.
But they're good.
Any other public comment? So motion.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, second?
Moved and second, we adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank everybody for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Steve, for your
You
work.
can sign in, please, if you haven't.
Oh.
Oh, I thought we were done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're done.
Well, he's got any good news?
No.
She forgot, she forgot.
Did you have something to say?
Nothing yet.
Yeah, Bucks would have really liked the old Walmart the other day, it had paddleboards for $100.
Stuart?
There's some renewed
Yeah.
interest, so.
I'll be right there.
Yeah.
The thing is, the new
And it's on the
Walmart.
website, 7
I
also.
mean,
They're all by different people.
I'm glad I double checked.
But if you're looking for something at Walmart, make sure you check the old one first.
Melody, that might be worth putting in the paper.
Yeah.
I have.
Several people were told it's at 7 and it's on the website at 7. I checked just before I came. It's 6:30. They had something to say.
Online stuff.
That's too bad.
Well, they could have said it when they asked for public comment.
That's
I-
fine.
Can I get a sign in?
Have to see it in person in
Phil
order to
Spector.
believe it.
Was that lady?
That's Mrs. Bertold, and then Harold said he had
I
something he was
always
gonna
call
Yeah,
say.
it is, you know, we.
My Jedders are Walmart, that's why they
Well,
were.
again, welcome to Choteau. So, are your children raised?
Oh, yeah.